The other area that schools tend to not plan as well for right off the bat, especially when marketing and trying to bring new students in, is the journey is wildly different for someone who wants an online education versus someone who's looking for your traditional on-ground experience. This is the key takeaway of the journey of an online student in the US right now. When an online student starts researching which online school to go to, they will start with an average of less than 3 schools in mind. For traditional on ground, that number is actually about 3.6 to 3.7. So right off the bat, the online education research journey is starting with one fewer school in mind. We're going to talk in a little bit about how localized online education actually tends to be. That plays very much into this. Students who decide to seek out an online offering are very aware of a handful of schools right off the bat. By the end of it, they're going to apply to less than 3 on average. There's a small percentage of online enrollment who say that they apply to 5, 6, 7 schools, just like traditional on-ground prospects do. But on the average, less than 3 schools apply to per online prospect. A little over half of them know right off the bat the program they want. 45% of them say they really have no idea. This isn't that different than the traditional student journey, especially with colleges long offering, general education and core classes while you figure out your major and things like that. Online does skew a little bit towards knowing right off the bat a little better what program they want, simply because not every program is offered online. It's just it just sort of self-fulfills a little bit. If I don't know what I want to do, it's easier for me to take a general ed class or just start taking core classes on campus of the school. Online, it's very clear at most schools and universities right now, colleges and universities, here are our online offerings. So I wouldn't put a ton of stock into that, except if you're launching paid search efforts, if you're launching paid social efforts, just marketing in general, know that more than half of your prospect base probably already knows exactly what they want to enroll in. So make it very clear what your offerings are. Make the user experience on your website very easy to find and hone in on each individual program and its requirements, because more than half of your prospect base is probably looking for exactly that and nothing more. The biggest surprise and takeaway I want you to have on this journey map right here: 2/3 of online students do their research, make a decision, and apply start to finish in less than 4 weeks. That's extremely fast compared to traditional education. Traditional education uses thousands of marketing touch points from beginning to end. You apply, there's all this post-application nurturing and conversations, and I'm not saying they don't have those in online higher ed. They certainly do. But everything that takes place in deciding where to go to school, what to do, when to apply, and having the information is just crunched substantially for online. It means if you're doing enrollment marketing for a traditional offering right now, you need to speed up all of those touch points, shorten your remarketing look back windows, be very aggressive with your email follow-ups, your phone calls, etc., because this is happening much more rapid fire across fewer schools and typically with a program already in mind. So there are a few obstacles during that 4 weeks that have been highlighted as the key elements that your prospective students are looking to answer, and that the best schools and online programs are answering for them. So if you don't have these things front and center on your website, your landing pages, in your follow-up information, the schools with the best enrollment and the best performance there, these are the things they're answering right off the bat wherever possible, because these are the items that prospects are saying, I need to know. The most common question looked to answer: transfer credit opportunities. We talked about how more than half of current online enrollment right now is still in that hybrid model. A lot of folks are still looking to take online with the hope of doing one of two things: bringing in some credits that they had already taken before deciding maybe the traditional college route wasn't for them, or vice versa, taking some online, knocking it out now because maybe it's just better for their schedule for where they're at in life, whatever, and then transferring that somewhere else when they go continue their degree. Maybe get an online certificate and transfer and get a degree later, things of that nature. Whichever direction it goes, the key question most often looked to be answered during the online education research process is, what are my transfer credit opportunities? Close second, what is the financial aid available? We're going to talk in a few minutes about the key audiences involved with online learning. Oftentimes, cost is a major determining factor for them. Financial aid in terms of a traditional university is a concept a lot of people understand, FAFSA and all of that. A lot of that applies to online, but people don't know if it does. Online learning is still a very new concept to a lot of people. And we live in an age where a lot of folks can see Udemy and Coursera advertising on Google, $10 courses and things like that. They don't know if that's the same concept at a school, if they're suddenly going to have to be paying as much as a university's full tuition, how the credit hours stack up. It's just a little bit of a Wild West still in terms of information. A lot of prospects really need to know that financial aid availability, because when looking at the one common obstacle or detriment to choosing and going ahead and pulling the trigger for an online offering, the most often cited challenge is difficulty estimating the actual cost. It's difficult to estimate the actual cost of traditional school right now. We all know that. Books, room and board, etc. No different for online. The difference being, online has marketed itself as such a flexible, always available, shorter term option that prospects go into it assuming it should be very easy to price it out. They almost assume it should be like purchasing an e-commerce offering. So difficulty diving in and understanding how many credit hours are required, what is the cost, what is going to be my total out-of-pocket investment. That is often a big stopping point for people because it's a big obstacle for them to find. Make sure you're very clear in that wherever you have opportunity to eliminate friction during that research process.